Sadiq Khan is just ruining London.
In what way is he ruining London?
Well, ULEZ for starters.
Well, we've got the congestion charge, we've got the ULEZ charge.
Have you got to pay to just park and drive into London? I don't really see the point.
Not so much me, but the older generation can't afford to change their car. You have to pay. Pay, pay, pay. So what you got to do?
Peeps is back, and this Thursday, Londoners will be heading to the polls to elect their next mayor. So we've been speaking to people from across the capital to find out who they'll be voting for and why. We've just come back from Uxbridge, where the issue on everybody's lips was ULEZ.
I think it's an absolute joke that he's charging people £12.50 just to get in their cars and drive, when we all know that the third runway at Heathrow, and Heathrow's right on our doorstep, that is going to cause more pollution and offset any gains that he's making, potentially, than anything. So I don't see why he has to charge the motorist again for £12.50 a day.
Do you think that a lot of people in Uxbridge feel the way you do?
I think a lot of people in the whole of London feel the way I do.
And we're going to get billed to use our car per mile. We've got free charges being slapped on the drivers, and it's hard to get around as it is. So, and people who can't afford it won't be able to use their cars.
So ULEZ is really the pivotal issue for you?
The ULEZ charge and the other new charges that will be coming in, because they are, apparently it's all going through now, according to several people in the newspaper and the media. So we've got free charges being slapped on us. Fares are going up. The trains and the buses are absolutely disgusting.
Hi guys, can I ask, who are you going to be voting for in the mayoral election?
But I live in Berlin,
You live in Berlin?
so I can't really vote in the mayoral election there, but I would definitely not be voting for a Conservative.
You'd vote for Sadiq Khan?
I'd vote for anybody but a Conservative mayor,
Okay, why is that?
because I think all the Conservatives have had a very long time in power and they've managed to turn this country from being, I think the legacy they've left has not been very attractive.
I live in Uxbridge.
And what do you think is the biggest problem facing people in Uxbridge at the moment?
Litter.
And what would you... Litter? How come?
The council ideally should do a little bit more to sort out the litter problem.
You know, it's the London mayoral election on Thursday, and we're asking people if you care.
No.
No,
Really,
why
no.
not?
I'm just not bothered by it, really. Don't really care.
Do you think that the mayor makes any difference?
Not particularly, no, not as far as I'm aware.
So you won't be voting?
No, probably not, no.
Do you know what the mayor of London does?
Runs TfL?
Do you think if there were better train services, you'd be more happy to give up the car?
No. No, because you can't normally get to where you're going via a train, so sometimes a car is more convenient. You can't take a train to the supermarket.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I think cleaning up the air, full stop, is a brilliant idea. But when you're going to build a third runway at Heathrow and put another sixth terminal in, that negates any offsets. So it's irrelevant.
And what would you say Uxbridge really needs at the moment?
I don't know, Uxbridge has got everything. It's got good transport links, it's close to everything. Buzzed by a pigeon. You're literally on the doorstep for the M25 and M4. I don't really know what it could do with. Maybe some more leisure facilities.
What do you think is the big problem in London at the moment?
ULEZ.
Yeah.
ULEZ?
Yeah.
Do you guys live in Uxbridge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you guys have cars?
Yeah. She does. Yeah.
And why do you think ULEZ is a problem?
Because why have you got to pay to just park and drive into London? I don't really see the point.
Could you not just take the tube?
Look, there's strikes and rail replacements and you can't make it to work in time.
If there were better tubes, do you think you'd give up the car?
Yeah.
Yeah. If there was a better public transport system, I think, yeah.
The current mayor, Sadiq Khan, do you think he's been doing a good job?
Oh, perhaps we need a woman. Have a change.
What do you think a woman would bring to the table?
Well, truthfulness, power, and honesty.
I'm voting for the one that's probably got the highest profile.
Which one?
Which for me, Mr. Khan.
You're going to vote for Mr. Sadiq Khan. Why?
because I know what he can do, and the others are a bit of a non-entity.
And what do you think is something that needs changing in Uxbridge specifically?
I suppose creating more investment for a lot of these shops that are left vacant at the moment. So that would be something, and probably Uxbridge need a big department store really, which they haven't got since Debenhams went.
But what do you think needs changing in London?
Transport. Yeah.
What about transport?
It's too expensive. Way too expensive. Yeah. Well, we both come from like a small place, not here, so it's just so expensive going back home. Yeah. It's like £50 or something. It's just like that's ridiculous. Trains.
What's important to me is the care and the love and the humanity for the animal kingdom, who have every right to be living on this earth. They have a soul, and I follow the Hare Krishnas actually. I know things have changed over the last 10 years. Like 10 years ago, you wouldn't be able to get vegan food in Marks and Spencer's, for example. And the environment. And I really believe there will be no peace on this earth until people stop taking animals' lives and eating murdered animals, making their stomach a graveyard for dead corpses.
He's got a huge backing.
Who's that?
Mr. Khan has got a huge backing. We, as Conservatives, have tried, but I think Susan is probably lacking a little bit of support generally.
So who are you going to be voting for?
I think that's going to be a big question, but I'll back Susan, but it's going to be just because I'm a Conservative.
So why do you like Susan Hall?
I don't particularly like her. I mean, I think she could do better.
What would you like to see her do as mayor?
Well, I think ULEZ is a major issue throughout, even in this part of the world. So something's got to be done on that. I think the burglaries that are going on. So we need that increased presence from the police.
Okay, Mick. So you're not voting. Why aren't you going to vote?
Because I haven't registered to vote.
But would you like to vote if you were registered?
Well, if I was going to vote, yeah, I would vote for the Conservative lady.
Who's that woman from Hatch End?